You've likely heard of Seth Godin, right? Expert in many domains, mostly known for marketing. So many books that people have read that have changed the way they interact with their customers. Not talking about just permission-based marketing, but Purple Cow, Linchpin, and so many more. Seth Godin is someone you've probably heard of and admire. Well, I had a chance to sit down with him and talk about the future of work, specifically leadership. Would you like to know what's going on inside his brain? This intelligent man who has really redefined and shaped how we engage and market. One of the things that I can share with you is this quote that changed everything for me. And it really will help you as a leader. If I can tell you exactly what I want you to do, I can find someone cheaper to do it. And when you think about that, it really is have a deep message to it. Because if your employees are waiting to be told, is that their fault or your fault? Well, here's the kicker. It's actually your fault. Because if you've trained them, if you've created such a leadership model where you're telling them what to do next and you're watching over them, you may not be a micromanager, but if that is the way in which you operate, then they're going to wait for that next step. But most companies, the ones that I engage with and admire, probably the one you want to lead, understand that leadership isn't about telling people what to do. In fact, it's about really getting people to engage and work at a different level. There are three elements inside that conversation, beyond that quote, that you really need to think about as it relates to your leadership and culture as you move forward and defining the future of work. The first one is learning to operate with ambiguity. Well, in today's uncertain times, we all have to make decisions based on not enough data. We have to go beyond a gut feeling, and we have to create the confidence and courage to make those decisions. This is a requirement in leadership. And our job is to be the kind of leaders that develops that kind of confidence and courage. The second part to Seth's interview was about formal education and really the breakdown that education has had in the terms of leadership development. One of the things I know about leadership development is not like learning in school, right? Where you're giving a topic, you're given some message around the topic, and then there's a test to make sure that you understand the topic. In fact, that learning arguably doesn't work at all. But what in today's world works inside leadership development, it takes a lot more interactive working, a lot more conversations around the context of work, not just doing the work. I see this happening many times that leaders don't understand why there's a communication breakdown, but they're not willing to talk about what effective communication really is. They want to talk about the work, but they don't want to talk about some of the meatier stuff inside there. The final insight behind that interview with Seth Godin is this: leaders make change happen. I talk to leaders all the time about the culture is not exactly the way they want it to be, but leaders are willing to embrace that change and be able to make it happen. They don't wait. By default, they aren't just drifting along. That is dangerous. And especially in times like we are today, you want to make sure that your people know that they can make change happen. It's okay. And it might not work out all the time. But the fact is, they're moving forward. Everyone talks about being agile, but you've got to be able to embrace change as a leader. Now, these are insights from that interview with Seth. If you want to get the full interview, make sure you go to genehammett.com/Seth, and it will help you understand how to take leadership to the next level and you develop as a leader. My name is Gene Hammett. I work with leaders and founders of fast growth companies. I do interviews like this all the time. I just bring this little insight because I thought you would appreciate it, being a fan of Seth and all. But I wanted to make sure that you had a small version, but also a deeper version if you want to go get the full interview. Just go to genehammett.com/Seth. If you want to see some free resources that we have, I'd love for you to check out the latest training we have on developing a team of A players. Just go to genehammett.com/training. When you think of leadership and you think of growth, make sure you think of Growth Think Tank. As always, lead with courage. We'll see you next time.